we put up been too long. Let's drop a bomb and prove that they were wrong.
I'm here, all you sufferers of those liberal children, after you tried your best to make them into conservatives. And what do you think, Serge, about that?
I think those children are living well among. They're just way better. I feel like they're doing great. I feel like you're raising great children.
If they want to get bullets in the ass,
Yeah.
right? And if
Or
they
live
want
in
doing the right
if
thing
they want to loot Target,
for humanity,
yes, right.
If they want
It's
to
all
be
good.
if they want to die with knowing that they can have a non-guilt-free they can just be no guilt.
And broke.
Hey, whatever, man. You can't take it with you. You can't take it with you.
But don't you want your best? Oh no, you don't have kids.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. That's where you're
I'm
coming
not.
from.
I'm not invested in this.
All right, so this is
I'm speaking for those kids.
This is conservative parents with liberal children,
Yeah.
and I
Kids.
have been liberal kids. Oh my Lord!
You don't even
Twice
know.
corrected. One off the air, one on the air.
There you go.
So embarrassing.
Who do we have here? Who's the guest?
Jason Ricardo. Now, Jason and I are longtime friends, but we met through the legal profession.
That's correct.
We were working at the same
Law firm.
law firm. I was going to almost say law firm.
No.
It was just a law firm that we also suffered the slings and arrows at. I'll be kind.
The
Okay.
slings and arrows.
Not that they're going to come back at you and they're going to, what are they going to destroy you now?
But the
You're
Christmas
a
skit,
powerhouse, man.
But the Christmas skit was fun.
yes, yeah.
The what?
We got to talk about the Christmas skit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, actually, we can go. This is the flow, baby. We'll do
how
the
we
Christmas
wanna
skit in
do
a
it.
minute. But first,
He worked for
Jason
the weasel, and
Ricardo.
I worked for the mustache. It was great.
That needs an explanation too.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going
But
on.
Jason Ricardo has his own law firm in Dade City. Tell us about it.
Ricardo and Waslick, we do consumer protection, where we help people doing who are in foreclosure, and we also help people who are in credit card lawsuits.
So he sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, he
Sounds
helps,
like a good
He
guy.
helps the victims of the big corporations.
big
We protect
corporate-
even though he's diehard conservative.
Yeah. I mean,
No, he's similar
that
to me
means there's good
because
inside of
I
him.
represent, right? Don't I represent people who are discriminated against? That's what I do as a profession, right?
Absolutely.
Yet I'm still conservative. Is that consistent to you?
It's just a contradiction. That's
no,
all.
No, it's not a contradiction.
It's a contradiction.
It's my point.
So, I mean,
You
it's
paint
fine.
us in a corner, you
I'm not. I'm
freaking
just saying.
bastard.
You are. You did that.
All right.
You did that. There you go.
And I'm Richard Myers of the Myers Firm, PA. Half my practice devoted to victims of discrimination. Other half is complex divorces and custody battles. I know it sounds like two completely different areas of law, and you'd be right. But you need to come to me if you have a problem regarding anything, really, because I consider my practice a general civil practice. I don't do criminal law, so I'll refer you out to a good criminal attorney if that's necessary. But other than that, come to me. And if I'm actually not the right guy, I have 30 years under my belt, I'm going to get you to the right attorney.
There you go.
Sometimes it's even Jason. Even though he may not be the right attorney, I'll
Yeah.
get you to Jason.
Just send him over there anyway.
Okay.
I'm always the right attorney.
All right, so I want to tell you about the show. So a couple of weeks ago, when I fully came to the realization that I raised 4 children, completely divergent politically from me, I started a blog on Facebook, and I called it Conservative Parents of Liberal Kids.
Not children.
And didn't promote it in any way, didn't announce it like I was going to do it or whatever. I just
Well, children implies that he has actual human children, but kids implies
well,
goats.
since
so
they're not
therefore-
Exactly.
since they're not conservative, they're not human.
They're
That's
goats.
what it seems like.
Yes.
That's what it seems like you're implying with that.
I'm not implying, I'm saying it.
Let it play. You're stating it's fact.
And I just like I remember I was lying in bed, and I'm like, you know what? I want to vent a little bit, and maybe there are other people that feel like me.
Absolutely.
So I started this blog on Facebook, and then I alerted. Who was the first person I alerted?
Me.
I gotta get Serge involved.
He said, I got something here.
I got
He told
something
me
going
about
on
it, and I
because-
said, that's brilliant. Can you bring your kids on? Are they going to come on? Not to cut you off, but are they? Can we get them?
No,
Did you tell him I said come on and I got his back 1,000,000%?
no. All right,
Listen,
so here's where
you
we're at.
come on. You will leave this room with the upper hand.
Well, here's
I
where we're
promise
at
you.
as a matter of physical location of children.
Okay.
Now, they can call in, And that might end my parental relationship to them altogether. But if they call in, they'd be calling in either from New York, L.A., Tampa. I have one son in
We could
Tampa.
do
and
a
the other one's in
video
Atlanta
chat.
now.
I'll send them the link.
In a couple of days, we'll be in
I'll
Atlanta.
send them the link. We'll do a video chat. Have them come in, so you can look them in their face.
Okay.
I'm with that.
Okay. They might actually find this fun.
They would.
Or they might say, I never want to see you again.
No, I don't
But
think they'll do
is it worth it? I don't know.
No,
I have
they
to think
won't.
about
They
it.
won't do that.
Serge,
I don't think they.
Maybe you would be the cause of me.
They'll probably say it now, and then 10 years down the road, be like, I understand.
I could wait 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm a patient guy. I'll be dead.
Trump will still be in office. but-
Trump, because his
Yeah, because by that
pursuant
time
to his Twitter account, he's president until 2052.
Yeah.
No, it'll be Ivanka Trump.
It'll be a full dictatorship
Okay.
by then. Don't worry. Actually, I think the Chinese will reclaim their land by then. They'll be like, you guys owe us like $800 billion. Just give us the whole East Coast.
Hey, I'm a sharpshooter because I expect the paratroopers to come out of the sky from China.
Yeah,
There
like
we go.
Red Dawn.
Wow. Yeah.
But from China.
All right. So what else did I say I was going to say? Because there was
I don't
a lot
know,
of
I cut
things
you
You were
off.
gonna, you were gonna,
Said something about
you were gonna
Bob.
pump your law firm a little more.
Yeah.
That's what you did say.
Well, I'm a practitioner.
You said you were going to get the phone and then possibly have them call in. And then I said we could do
Yeah,
a video
all right.
chat.
So those of you, by the way,
There you
who
go.
have liberal children and are conservative, are probably suffering like I am because maybe you thought you did your best either by trying your best to expose them to conservatism, but lost that battle through the school system or
Common sense. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I apologize.
this is why I have a
I
foil.
apologize.
You do not apologize, you fucking bastard.
The man with no kids.
The timing was epic on that.
Yeah.
Well, common sense.
So, are you going to explain
Right.
why I'm here?
No,
How many?
It's for the.
how many liberal kids do I have?
none.
That's right.
How many kids? do
No,
you have?
because this
Seven.
is this. Well, this
How
way
many?
you can be the foil.
7.
7?
Yes.
Wow.
Jason, take the floor and tell me how you ended up with 7 kids.
Yes, really. Oh, I can
And
tell you how
how-
he ended up with 7.
No.
I'm
no,
married.
You can't.
He's
So-
the worst.
You can't. He's got a
pullout
unique
person
story to tell,
in
and
the-
you should tell it because I'm very.
Well, first of all, I'm Catholic, so we don't pull out.
Oh, we don't. There's just say that's nice. There you go.
Go ahead, sir.
What do you want? I've got 7
7
kids.
kids, yeah.
Yes, I do.
No, yeah. I'll tell you about your
All right.
family.
5 biological children. The oldest is 18, almost 19, off to school next month. 17, 13, 10,
He's doing the same rolling of the eyes I do when I have to recount how many children I
7,
have.
6, 5. There we go. There we go.
Wow.
And tell us about the adoptions.
Okay, so my first 5 are biological, and our the last 2, number 6 and 7, are both adopted. Well, my wife and I were anxious to have more children. We went into the adoption system. In the typical adoption system, the mother of the soon-to-be adopted child gets to pick the parents. And we were told up front from Catholic Charities that we would unlikely be selected because we have so many children. And so we sort of abandoned that process and went through foster care, and we adopted Ruby. And after we adopted Ruby, within 2 weeks, we got a call from Catholic Charities saying that there was another one. And we were selected because Ruby was African American, and the new child was biracial, and the mother wanted her to be raised in a home with a biracial home, and so we were selected. So we literally went from 5 to 7 in 60 seconds. It was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It was a wild time.
Oh,
I went to Babies R Us too many times in that 2 week period of time. That's for sure.
And just to let the audience know how I met Jason. So this is all right. So we worked. I'm going to leave the law firm anonymous. I think. Might be
Yeah, it's probably best
Okay.
to do that.
All right.
Unless
So we
they're
worked at
gonna
a
cut you a
large
check.
insurance defense firm. We got hired within a couple months of each other. I think. Okay.
Or minutes, depends.
Yeah, at this firm,
Relatively.
because we wanted to. Actually, this is all a
lot of
lead
turnover.
This is all a lead into the to the skit that we wanted.
The
to
mustache versus the
Talk about. So,
purple shirts.
all right, there's so many stories at this firm. We're going to go on a tangent here. It's nothing about conservative parents of liberal kids. But Jason and I met, God, it's how long ago? 22 years ago, I guess,
Yes.
right, roughly?
Yeah.
All right. So I had left a law firm that was bouncing my paychecks, and I said, I got to get out of here.
Oh,
So I joined this law firm, and Jason was already there for a couple of months. And we hit it off as friends. And
I took him under my wing.
yeah, right. That's what you did.
as you should.
But we started bonding as being, it's sort of like being bunker mates in the military, right? Like,
we were in the same foxhole.
yes, we were in the same foxhole. Anyway, we became close friends through there. And in the firm, well, they were very, very, not politically conservative, just business conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They tracked your time.
They tracked your time. They didn't like the fact that I would dress with
Flamboyantly.
I would not wear a white collared shirt to work, and I had colored shirts. So
Yes, you did.
I had a rebellious attitude even then, a little bit. Okay, so I got written up by the law firm for wearing like purple shirt. Purple. I had a purplish, like pastelish type shirt. Okay, so
There was nothing pastel about it. It was
I was
all
purple. All right, so I got brought into my boss, my immediate boss, the senior associate to me.
Yeah.
Brought me into his office and said, I got word from management that they're not liking your shirt, so we'd like you to wear a white shirt from now on, because at any given time in this law firm, we might have representatives of insurance companies around, and they want to see you dressed very conservatively, not like you're representing plaintiffs, but only defendants. This is what it was told to me. So I'm like, oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm not much of like this being told to be a team player kind of guy.
Oh, but you were older than your boss, by the way.
Yes, I was older than my boss,
nice.
and I came in with like 7-8 years of litigation
And he was
experience.
probably
You probably had more
I had more
experience
experience
than
than
him.
he did, and he's telling me this is how the firm operates, and I'm like,
And he was a pencil neck. I mean, so straight laced.
yes, very straight.
Oh man, this guy shit coal and then
Okay,
spit
yeah.
out diamonds. I mean, this guy was terrible.
But I'm like, okay, I hear you. All right, so within a couple of weeks or so, there was the fantasy football firm draft.
Oh boy.
Right? So there's like
So the
12 of
entire
us,
firm
12
was
or 14 of
involved?
us. No, like there's 100 people, 100 attorneys in this firm
At
roughly.
least, yeah.
Maybe 14, 16 of us are participating in this draft. Oh, are we watching the lightning?
No.
Okay. Anyway, so the draft is going around, and now before the draft actually starts, we have to name the team. And so sitting to my right is my boss. And we're going counterclockwise, so I get to name my team right before my boss names his team. So we're going around, we're naming the team, and right before, I'm going to name it something innocuous, and the thought occurred to me right before I'm chosen, I'm going to name my team the Purple Shirts. So they go, oh, what's your team, Myers? And I'm like, I look at my boss, I go, the Purple Shirts.
Oh my God.
So like a week later, it's in the
He
middle.
was fired.
Yeah.
No.
A few weeks later, it's the first cold spell, like really bad cold spell.
Yeah.
It's like 30 degrees, whatever it is. And I'm walking from the parking lot into the office, and I'm wearing my leather jacket, my leather overcoat jacket. It's
Yeah.
like a nice jacket. And I get pulled into my boss's office and says, I heard from the upper echelon, I need to talk to you. Like, what? He's like, you wore this leather jacket instead of like a regular overcoat. I'm like, I'm cold. The leather jacket, it's like, I'm like, what's your problem? Well, sometimes we have clients looking into who's coming in and out of the building. Right? Like, this is how micromanaged.
I get it though.
Oh, come on,
I
dude,
mean, I get
you?
it. I mean, I understand. They're probably like,
Yeah,
they
you're
probably want to
protecting
be
the
like,
corporation now? Dude, are you protecting the
No,
corporation?
They don't want people to
They don't
know-
want pimps in there.
They don't want pimps.
That's kind of
Purple shirt,
I did
black
look
leather jacket,
purple shirt,
high
pimpish.
heels,
I
and a-
did,
and
I
a
did.
fedora.
Have you
I mean,
ever
the guy
seen-
was sharp.
I did.
Sharp.
Have you ever seen Goodfellas? Don't
Yes,
be
of course.
flashy
That's
with
my
the
favorite
money.
movie.
Don't
Fucking
buy
hell.
the coat.
Yeah.
Take the car back. We told you don't spend the money, Richard.
spend the money.
You
Don't.
come in here with a coat on, your
Cadillac.
purple, you got your black leather coat with your purple shirt under it.
That's exactly what I did.
That was
though.
Morty. Morty and his wife took it in the Cadillac.
Came with
And they
the
ended up in the
Cadillac.
trunk.
So
Yeah.
whose car is that? What are you doing right now? I told you don't spend it. Lay low, Richard. Lay low.
Well, we got right. Lightning on the power play.
Lightning on the
Triple
power play.
overtime.
Nobody's listening. They're going to hear this in 3 days, and they're not going to care about this.
But we care. The three of
Yeah,
us
this
care.
is important. This
Well,
is
I
very
do care,
important.
but
They're
I'd
about to score.
rather-
Look right now.
I really want to hear more about
Anyway,
the mustache.
So,
Tell me
so
about this.
we're like into the show.
Okay, so he pulls you to the office. He doesn't like your oversized trench coat.
and he writes
your
me up.
wingtip.
He actually writes me up a disciplinary notice.
Absolutely.
No.
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
Look, I'm walking into the office. I literally take off my.
He's
you have-
DJ Richie Rich.
You have to
He's
understand.
up
Let's
to it,
explain to
yeah.
him. We're in our little holes.
Yeah,
Like
we do have our
Like
Wait, let me tell you a little bit about Jason.
Wait,
Wait, no.
What did I
Let me
do?
tell you about Jason at the
I'm
law
just-
firm. No, I'm going to out him a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now, we're all under the pressure because we come in and they tell us when working at a big law firm like this, there's two ways to make partner. You could be an equity partner or you can be, what's the other word? Whatever. There's two ways. You can work your ass off and work like 2,400 hours a year
Or get
I know.
quality.
and become an owner.
All right.
Or you can be another kind of partner, which is like you work your 1,800
A salaried
to 2,000.
partner.
A salaried partner.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's not what they
okay.
called it, but yeah.
So
Well,
there's
yeah,
people that live to be there and other people that just want to put
It was
in
either an
Exactly.
equity partner or a serf. I don't know
Right.
which one it was, yeah.
All right, so, but we don't know how we're going to forge forward in this firm. We're just starting. But I remember walking into his office, and every day there would be a sticky note on his computer about how many hours he had to work that day in order to keep his average
my
up
God.
to make sure that by the end of the year, he would have sufficient hours maybe to make equity partner.
I had the best chart. It was
he had it figured out.
So I'd walk in and I'm like, yesterday it said 8.2. Today it says 8.3. What did you do? Leave early yesterday? Right?
Slacker.
Well, I had to consult the abacus, and it
Slacker.
told me how many.
So that was the shit we had to go through at the law firm. Anyway,
Pretty much.
back to the show.
The real show.
Conservative parents of liberal kids.
Thank you.
Okay. The reason what motivated me to do the show is we're in a hyper-partisan community right now, and the kids are part of it.
Oh my gosh! How
All
is
right.
it so hard for this going?
So we're trying to concentrate on the show,
But
and it's not
also-
not easy
This game is
We're still on
because
power
it's
play,
in
37 seconds.
it's in triple overtime, and it's 6 minutes in
it's game one of a playoff series.
of a playoffs. Yeah, game one of game. Why are we even doing the show? Why
I
don't
mean,
we
we
just do
can.
the play-by-play?
We could. I mean,
I'm still waiting to hear more.
Yeah,
I'm listening. I'm
okay, where were we?
Anyway, I just want to get
E.F.
to the
Hutton
theme of
over
the
here.
show because I want this to
All right.
catch on.
All right.
Right?
Got you.
All right, because we're in a world where everything's partisan and everything is polarized.
Yeah.
And now it's within families, as we know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So I thought I was doing a good job as a parent to let my kids find out how the world works on their own and come to their own conclusions because I have very smart kids. Big mistake, right, Jason?
They're very smart. You have good kids.
No, I have brilliant kids, but they didn't make wise political choices, right, sir?
I mean, that's according to you.
Can I just interrupt? It's not that they didn't make wise political choices. They made unguided political choices.
there we go.
Wham! No,
that's
seriously, no.
actually
no.
a jab on me.
No, it is,
because
but
I didn't guide
but
enough.
really, it's
I didn't guide enough. Apparently,
it's a joke. But you have good kids. They are smart and they are conscientious, and those are all three things that you really want to know about your children. The problem is that not so much that they disagree with you. It's how they treat you in reverse. It's not that they have a different mindset. It's how they respond to your own position, which, quite frankly, they grew up with.
Well, you know, this is the difficulty I have as a parent, as many of you out there probably are maybe relating to, which is my kids are good. I know they love me, but they also despise me at the same time because they see it as if you don't agree with me, you are therefore racist.
Yeah, that's not.
It's like
but
they-
you know what? That's not their fault, and it isn't even your fault. I was saying that. I was kind of teasing you. It is not your fault. It is not their fault. It is our culture's fault that your children hate you. It's not. They don't hate you. They love you, and if you were to dig down, they would. But the problem is they hear from so much of our culture and from our news media and from our social media that you're evil. When you're told over and over again that you're a Nazi, that you're a totalitarian, that you're a sexist, racist, homophobe, whatever, whatever the phobe is of the day, they believe it. Not because they know you're that person, but because they're told you're that person.
Now, the listening audience here, which I hope grows dramatically soon, but those who are listening in, I remind my kids that they're actually a product of a biracial marriage and that I've devoted my life to civil rights.
It's true.
And it doesn't matter to them because I'm conservative. If I'm conservative and I watch Fox News, therefore I am a certain type of person. It doesn't matter whether or not you had a relationship with somebody of a different race.
Yeah.
That resulted in me.
You and I know that, or at least I think you and I would both agree, that one of the losses and the reason why there has been such a change in the way we talk about public matters is that not only do we not respect each other on a personal level enough to give each other the opportunity to finish a sentence, there's little critical thinking. If you and I engage in a debate, but we're given the opportunity to fully explain the positions that we have, you and I can remember this from college, end up at a totally different position. But we could respect each other because we fully understand where we're rooted. But if you automatically start the conversation, and if I may be so bold, I listened to last week's podcast, and one of the things that really struck me was that I kept hearing from at least one other individual last week. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not here to cast aspersions. I'm just saying
Liz Dion.
It hurt me, but it hurt me to hear that they wanted to start the conversation with, but you're not moral.
Right.
But they're not even understanding your position, so they can't judge you because they don't even know why you think what you think.
This is the insidious part of it, which is if they've learned a tactic, which is you marginalize your opponent, and then you can do anything to them.
That's a tactic. But
it's a tactic, but they don't know it's a tactic. Yeah. They've bought into this thinking. They don't even know they're being manipulated into a tactic, which is if you say, hey, if you think this, therefore you're a Nazi, and if you're a Nazi, I can say anything to you.
Yeah.
You're despicable. You're not unworthy of any respect.
If you truly believe the person that you're having a conversation with truly is a Nazi, there is no reason for their living, and so you can justify any reason to humiliate and destroy them. And that's the tactic that we're seeing. Now, I want to make one thing not clear, but to explain the difference between you and me. You have 4 children. You're a conservative. You've raised them. You've sent them to school, and they've all come out mostly liberal. I have 7 children. Most of mine are young, so I don't say that.
They don't know what belief system they have.
I don't know. Okay. I can tell you what at least 2 of them are, and I know they're nowhere near. Both of my oldest are nowhere near liberal. But the difference is not – I'm going to use the word guidance, but that's not fair because I don't intend to imply that you didn't guide your children. I know you did. But we homeschool our children.
Yes, I was about to say.
Oh,
that.
yeah, no.
So we homeschool our children.
Difference.
So I've got them under my thumb.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. No. But there's a couple things.
Right.
There's a couple other things. One thing that's probably a little sore, and I'm going to mention anyway since we're here on a public forum. The first thing is that we homeschool them. I don't subject them to the way I think. Or no, I do subject them to the way I think, and I discuss with them the way I think. But I don't tell them what to think. They're exposed to Fox News. They're exposed to Breitbart. They're exposed to Rush Limbaugh. They're exposed to all those people. And I discuss with them the issues of the day. But there's one other little thing that we have, and that is we maintain our Catholic faith fairly rigorously. And my children are altar servers. We go to Mass weekly. We pray before meals. We homeschool. So my children, I hope I am indoctrinating them. That's the word I'm going to use. I'm indoctrinating them because I am filling them with doctrine as they grow up so that when they go out in the world, they can make their own decisions. I do not say my children can't be liberal or progressive or leftist or whatever it is.
They're starting with a baseline.
But they have a baseline, and they can choose whatever they will. They can be whatever they want to be. They are free thinkers, and I'll have a conversation with any of them at any time. But I want them to understand why I think what I think, and that my reasons for thinking are not sinister. I am not a racist. I am not a homophobe. I might be Catholic, but I'm not a homophobe. I have plenty of gay friends. That doesn't. My neighbor is gay, and we have conversations, and we're friendly, and we invite him over for dinner, and he comes to our home. I'm not afraid, but we have a different outlook on life. But if he respects me and I respect him, or if we in general can respect each other enough, then we okay.
Well, this is where you're hitting the theme of the show. The reason why I
Boom.
wanted to start this show. It was such a great soliloquy,
See, I like how he did that.
right? That was a great soliloquy. Soliloquy? Is that the right way?
Soliloquy.
Okay.
I'd like to call it a monologue.
Okay. A
Yeah,
monologue.
yeah.
Because the theme of the show, and the reason why I want to start the show, is that in spite of all the political differences and how it results in these negative feelings, love and respect is far more important. And I think we've all experienced, on some level, the loss of connection or relationships to people in your life simply because of political differences.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And we've talked about this on Facebook itself,
We
let
have.
alone just
Yeah,
personally.
we've had serious conversations. Yeah.
And it's a real sad moment when you find yourself in a position where, you know what? How did we get here when we know we love each other?
Yeah, why are we
yet you don't want to
arguing
be in
over
the
this?
same room with each other? Like, how could the politics trump the history and the love and
See
the
what you did
respect
there?
that you
See what
had
you did
built
there?
up? And it's very frustrating to me because I feel like I'm walking on eggshells in my own home.
Okay, can I do
Yeah.
a quick observation? And
Yeah,
I
go
don't know if
ahead.
it's going to go anywhere. But there's a current movement that conservatives are using to encourage people to encouraging Democrats or people who typically vote Democrat to vote Republican, and it's called walk away. Have you heard about that?
No.
There's a movement within the black community. There's a movement in the Democrat community. It's called walk away, and it's clever and it's typical Twitter hashtag fun. Oh, yeah, just walk away. I think that, along with the way I've been treated by some of my liberal friends and liberal family, is not what we want. You might want to walk away from an organization, and that's fine, but we should never walk away from our loved ones. We should never walk away from each other, because we're going to create a divided country if we walk away. I can no more walk away from New York City than New York City should want to walk away from Central Florida. No, I may not agree with 90% of the way people in New York City live, but I love New York City. And I love the arts, and I love the vibrancy of their lifestyle. I don't agree with lots of things. I don't agree with a lot of their politics and their government and their taxing and all of those things. But that doesn't mean I won't go there. It doesn't mean I won't fly into New York City and go to a show. I've been
we
told
live in a culture where everything is if
black
you
and
do
white.
This,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
You're right.
hello, conservatives like to go to Broadway.
Right.
Never been there.
Well,
Well,
then
that's
you're
different.
not liberal.
I'm not.
I'm teasing
anything.
you.
I don't
teasing you.
co-sign to any.
I'm totally teasing you.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I just
it
Well,
was
I'm
quick,
the type of
quick
person-
really quick
I-
aside, because it wasn't too long ago where we were talking. I was talking about, I like fine dining every now and then. I was actually talking about,
yeah.
right? You'll side story.
Tell 'em.
All right. So I said, I actually, among the the places that are fine dining in Tampa, the place that I like to get to me the best steak is still Ruth's Chris. It's not we're not sponsoring Ruth's Chris. Or
No,
anything.
not at all. Not at all.
So
They can sponsor us.
But I love a 650-degree steak. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I tell Serge that's my favorite place, and Serge goes, I've never been to like fine dining or anything. I said, are you shitting me? He goes, no, I really haven't. I said, all right, you're going to be my guest. I'm taking you, just me and you. This is going to be a side story about Star in a minute too, right?
Yeah.
right.
No, we can leave that part out.
Oh, we can leave that part out.
Yeah, we can
No,
leave
that's
that part.
That's a good part. Anyway. I know you and I know the inside, but so Serge, being who Serge is, he's like, I'm going to show up in my baseball hat and shorts.
Then you should go to Charlie's.
He said you're not going to get in.
I said, yeah.
I said it's
"Dude,
all about
man,
if
no."
I know that
You'll
I'm
get
supposed
in.
to be there, I'll get in.
You'll get
I
it.
said, all right. So ultimately, I said, you roll with me because I'll be dressed, and you just roll me like, he's a client or whatever, and just roll in with me. And it was absolutely, they accepted you like, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the funny thing: we had, I'm
somebody.
gonna bring.
Oh,
Star
I
in.
got a story. I can't wait to hear.
I'm gonna bring Star in because this.
Yeah, go ahead. That was funny.
It was really funny. So I'm just growing up with Serge, right? Like, let's have a fucking man's night out.
Yeah, let's get some
We're gonna
steak.
have a steak.
Are we
Big
dropping
potato.
bombs now? Now we can swear.
cut-
Yeah,
Yes.
we can always swear.
Yeah, I know your wife's listening, so maybe you don't want to do that.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to go home and, well, guess
Oh.
I got to sleep on the couch.
Sorry, Jill. Did I just cuss in front of you? I'm sorry. All right.
Okay,
any-
for her virgin ears.
Okay. You're co-hosting the show with Richard's mouth. No. Anyway,
So Star shows up, right?
So it's gonna be bro night.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So
She ruined it.
No, she didn't ruin it.
no, actually, the
a
evening
good
was
time.
okay.
I tease. I do.
It was okay.
But it wasn't
Okay, so I
But it was
told
no
you
longer
earlier,
bro night?
I told you
No,
earlier,
definitely not
I don't
bro
want
night.
to
off the
hear
air,
anymore earlier,
some
yeah.
proclivities she had. Right. Not.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
loves to cut hair.
Loves,
Yeah, she does.
Loves to cut hair. Anyway, so we're in the restaurant, and she brings the man whose hair she's cutting
Yeah.
that week,
Damn.
right? And like
Cutting
just,
it close, dude.
just
But
joins
anyway,
in.
good. Yeah,
just
sure.
joins in,
All right. Yes.
like she belongs there.
of course.
We're like, oh, Jesus.
That's what that kind of girl does.
But we rolled with it, right? We was
Yeah,
okay.
it was fun.
It was
I had a
okay.
good time. It was a great
All right.
time. I had fun.
Was there alcohol involved?
I don't think I had one.
No.
No,
I just
Disappointing.
had an amazing steak.
Well, how about when it comes and it's sizzling and there's butter on top? I don't care who you're sitting with. That's
No.
the best damn steak
Hey, it
you
was so
ever
good.
ate.
And you take the knife and you just barely pull it.
Did you eat anything else on the side or just the steak?
I had a
Have you
baked
been back
potato.
since?
I have, of course not. Come on, man. That's
Because
way
you didn't
above-
take him. He
That's
needed-
way above my. Like,
All right, so
I can't.
Oh, whoa, whoa, hold
I
on.
tell you what. I found a new place. It's only because of who I'm in a relationship with now. It's a place called 1961. It's in Lakeland.
Okay.
Free plug.
It's, no, you'll love.
It sounds familiar. I think I've heard of
It's
it.
it's named 1961 because the owner came from Cuba and
Okay.
escaped Cuba in that year and established his own mark, if
That's
you
a
will.
good
and-
story, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
We should probably interview him.
He's probably
Yeah,
conservative.
maybe so.
Maybe we can go there and
Maybe
interview
we
him.
can get him on the show.
Maybe we could do our
perfect.
next show
Okay.
in 1961.
Yeah,
But-
that's what I'm saying. I do that.
But
Yeah,
I'll
all right,
make
we'll
you
travel.
my guest. I'll introduce you to my lady, and we can dine there. And
That'll be
but-
cool. Yeah, see
okay,
if you can set
okay.
something out. Let them know.
Okay, all right.
Because it'll help them. We can, like,
Okay.
ask them if they would like, well, if they're cool with it, see if they'll like the cameras. If not, we could do audio.
By the way, just as an aside, we're getting very close to quadruple overtime.
Yeah, we really are. This is actually
This is-
pretty
this is
intense.
unique
Are they going to
territory.
do shootouts or do they not?
No,
do
there's
No,
shootouts?
no,
there's
in
no
the
shootouts.
playoffs. In the playoffs, there's no shootouts
Because Stanley
it's
would kill
sudden
it.
death. Who scores the? It's whoever scores the first goal after regulation time.
Does anybody know the
So this
longest
is going to
game?
be end up
What's the longest playoff game in history?
It's about to be this
6
one.
overtimes.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so we're just getting.
So yeah, we're only halfway through the
All
longest
right,
in
so
history.
we have something to root
But
for.
there's only been 1 or 2 games that went beyond 3.
Yeah.
Are you
Like
going to
something.
finish your story or not?
The steak was amazing.
Get to the end.
Stick with
And
it.
you know what? I'm going to tell you something, and this is hilarious because this is shows, that I like stuff like that. So I went to the bathroom,
Yeah, right.
and they got these paper towels, but they're like 18 ply.
Yeah.
It's like rubbing your hand with clouds from heaven.
right.
So of course I took a stack of them because I'm like,
Well, because
In
the
his
bathroom
shorts
down
and
the hall.
cap.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm, as a
The
public
bathroom down the hall is
public service announcement.
peasant.
The
Yeah.
bathroom down the hall has toilet paper to wipe your hands with.
yeah,
Okay.
it's really.
I could have sneezed into
Okay.
those. They were that.
But it's
bad.
not Ohio radio toilet
It's
paper.
not.
No,
It's
it has nothing
definitely
associated
not.
with
It's
this
not
station.
No,
worthy at all.
Flohio is perfect. I love this place.
We're
I
just
feel like
here.
I'm right in the middle of Flohio.
And so you went to the bathroom there, and
Yeah, like I said,
that-
took some
that's
paper
it, right?
towels,
Like-
brought souvenirs.
your own little
That's the-
mini,
that's the
your own
point.
little
That's what we
mini
do.
Did you take the
orgasm
mints?
in the middle,
Did the
middle of
mints?
I didn't
And
take the
little-
mints.
and,
I'm not a fan of mints.
There wasn't an
no, they don't leave a
attendant
lot
in
of
there.
mints, but I took a stack of those. I think I still have like 2 or 3 left.
Yeah. Using them sparingly.
Yeah, those are for special occasions.
Special
You know?
occasions. When your guests come.
When
yeah.
you get a nice lady in here, she's like, "Oh my god, I spilled the drink," and you're like, "Here's some paper towels."
Oh,
It'll
damn.
be just
Can
fine.
I just tell you real quick? I'll make the story
Sure.
really quick. I took my lovely wife for an anniversary or a Valentine's Day dinner. I don't remember which.
How long you been married?
To 22 years.
Wow. Okay.
to Charlie's Steakhouse right there on
I love Charlie's, too.
is it Cypress or West
Right.
Shore?
Yeah, yeah.
Down that way. You know. The food is actually very good at Charlie's, but the decor and the people around you are not. The guy sitting next to me rolled off the beach with an "I love Jesus" baseball cap, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of my anniversary dinner having champagne, and you're over here with a Bud Light and your "I love Jesus" ball hat. I'm like, that is
And a tank top on?
no. His wife had the tank top
Oh,
on.
okay. He was classing it up.
They were all kinds of class.
Jeez.
They rolled back to the double wide that night. I'm sure they had a great time.
Yeah, well, he had to put, he was showing her a good time. It's
Yeah,
Charlie's,
I
man.
was, as an aside, I was telling Jason before the show. I said, "Listen, the beauty of being in a podcast is to go with the flow,
Absolutely.
right? Like, just take it where it goes and just enjoy it." But I've advertised this show to be, all right, are we, as a nation, through a concerted leftist movement, moving closer to socialism and even communism in this country? And I got a text, a Facebook post sent to me directly from a friend of mine who I can't out. I'm
Yeah.
No, leave him or her anonymous.
Right. It is a him or her.
There you go.
This guy's had 69 saves. That is just nuts.
They're
The-
Columbus Blue Jackets.
The
Really?
Columbus Blue
69
Jackets.
saves?
69 saves. That is insane.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of shots.
Wow. I don't want any dead air.
Yeah. Okay.
So
air.
while you guys are watching this show,
No, go ahead and finish your anonymous post.
all right. So
Which is
I'm
probably
gonna
not
read
even
from the
real.
post without divulging the name who sent it. To me.
Okay.
It says the Russian leader Nikita Khrushchev said at a United Nations meeting 60 years ago,
All right.
on September 29th, 1959, quote, "Your children's children will live under communism. You Americans are so gullible. No, you won't accept communism outright, but we will keep feeding you small doses of socialism until you will finally wake up and find you already have communism. We will not have to fight you. We will so weaken your economy until you will fall like overripe fruit into our hands. The democracy will cease to exist when you take away from those who are willing to work and give to those who are not. Socialism leads to communism. And so how do you create a socialist state? There are 8 levels of control, Serge.
Let's go.
First level of control. Healthcare. If you control the healthcare, you control the people. Poverty. Increase the poverty level as high as possible. Poor people are easier to control and will not fight back if you are providing everything for them. Next thing, okay. Debt. Increase the debt to an unsustainable level. That way you are able to increase taxes and this will produce more poverty. 4. Gun control. Remove the ability to defend themselves from government. That way you are able to create a police state. 5. Welfare. Take control of every aspect, food, housing, and income of their lives because that will make them fully dependent on government. 6. Education. Take control of what people read, listen, and take control of what children learn in school. 7. Religion. Remove the belief in God from the government and the schools because the people need to believe only that the government knows what's best for the people. Class warfare. Divide the people into wealthy and the poor. Eliminate the middle class. This will cause more discontent, and it will be easier to tax the rich with the support of the poor. Got more coming. All right.
I mean,
We are there. Why can't people see what's going on in this country? We want something more.
That's not Khrushchev talking right there, is it?
No, this is the final
The other
comment
guy,
of
yeah.
the individual.
Okay. Because it all sounds like something that's all made up.
Look up recent history. Study Venezuela. was the final comment.
But if I may,
Okay.
I believe everything you just said is true. I just don't believe the source.
That Nikita Khrushchev said it.
I don't believe that for a second.
All right, so this is one
Yeah,
of
that
those.
somewhere Snopes or
Yeah,
Wikipedia is
somewhere-
blowing up like,
Okay, all
there's
right.
no way that's possible. I will just say
Okay, but it's true.
It
I
is
believe
true.
I believe the content is true.
Okay.
And I live my life to prevent all of those things, but I don't believe Nikita
What do you think is
Khrushchev
going to
in
happen
his
if
shoes
Biden's
said that.
elected?
Oh my God! Please,
Oh my
we
God.
do not have,
I
we don't
went
have
there.
enough time.
I went there.
No. Okay, all right. Biden from 1976 would not do any of this. Biden now is so weak and feeble, he is going to do whatever it takes to do whatever he thinks it's going to be to maintain power or to obtain power. And in this current environment, which we have seen since March 17th is the date I'm going to use, and then following that Memorial Day, I think Biden's going further and further and further left to accommodate those people on the lefter side of the spectrum
Because he has to get as many votes as possible.
because he thinks that's where the votes are.
Right. Okay.
I don't believe the votes are there. I don't believe Pennsylvania, Ohio, Minnesota. I think Minneapolis is there, but I don't think
So
Minnesota
I'm
is there.
a little confused about something. So Biden ran as initially got and even debated as a moderate.
as the moderate.
Okay. And then reaches this agreement / manifesto with Sanders, right?
Yes.
And AOC, whatever, right? Okay.
Can we leave her out? She makes
Is
me.
it?
She
is
makes
that-
me unhappy.
Do you believe
I love her.
what? Who?
I think she's
who?
awesome.
AOC.
Yes, our host
All right.
loves AOC.
I
Show
love
number
her.
3 will be devoted to an AOC hate fest / love fest.
I mean, it is what it is.
She's completely insane and uninformed.
I agree with that. However, I do want to,
Right, Serge?
Since your
For all
last
the greatest intentions.
no. But let's talk about this. We were,
Okay.
In your last podcast, you talked about love and respect for
Yes.
each other.
Yes.
And I believe AOC believes everything she says.
No, it's genuine.
She's delusional, but she believes it. And there are people who love her that believe it too. I think part of the problem is the dissemination of information and knowledge and the way it's being skewed. And the word I'm going to use is skewed, because I think if information was given tit for tat, people could make their own decisions. I think the problem is that people are given a heavy dose of skewed information and an uninformed dose of the balance.
And the
So
skewed
it's a
information
mess.
comes in two forms. One, forcing down a certain viewpoint, as well as eliminating, right? Deciding as like I'm not going to report a story that is
Did you
that
see-
is against my viewpoint.
Did you see what CNN said the other day over the weekend? Stelter, who's that guy?
Yes, the Brian Stelter.
Brian Stelter.
Yes,
Brian
who said
Stelter
it-
literally asked his guest.
Yes, I saw.
Literally asked his guest. You know, there is at least one anti-Biden. There's one anti-Biden network, but there are.
Is there
he said with
anyone? Is there
but
anyone?
Is it possible that there are no anti-Trump networks? And his guest said there are no anti-Trump.
You're
networks.
right.
What
There's
are you
no
in-
one on any other network that's anti-Trump.
Talk about delusional.
Now, Serge, come on, chime in. You know
listen.
this is true, right? You know.
No. Don't ask a
No, this
don't,
is-
don't ask a leading question.
No,
ask an
I'm gonna
open-ended
ask a
question.
This is exactly how this is. You have Fox, which represents the Republicans, and you have the CNN, which is the Dems, and you got MSNBC, which is kind of a little bit
Yeah, but he
more.
wouldn't
to
even
this.
recognize that.
That's because that's what they're supposed to do. That's just like how Fox doesn't recognize
No,
a
but
lot
you
of the stuff
discredit
Trump
yourself.
does.
You're like you look like an idiot.
No, you don't look like an
to
idiot.
you. CNN looks
Not
like
you,
idiot.
I mean,
No.
not him.
But
Stelter does when he
Essentially,
says
what it
something
is
like
CNN to you guys looks like idiots. Fox News to everybody looks like idiots. Everybody has their side that they have to support
But-
and pitch their side of the thing.
Surge, with
There's
all,
no
due, with all
somebody
due
who
respect,
reports-
with all due respect, I appreciate exactly what you said.
Yeah.
The problem that I have is that let's just take the fact that we know that we're not being given even level news. Okay,
At
you're
all.
You're not given even. We know that.
Anywhere.
Okay, we know that. But I don't choose to call them idiots, and I choose not to be considered an idiot. I mean, if you want to label me a person who seeks out information that I want to hear, that leans right, yeah, I completely agree with that. And if you want to go listen to news that leans left, I'm okay with that
Yeah.
too.
People are just
My that's not my problem. If you want left, go get left. If I want right, I can go get right. I mean, that is what Rush Limbaugh is, by the way. You know that, right?
he's
And Rachel
self-aware.
Maddow, and you know,
She's left.
is left. Okay, so we all are wise to that. My problem is not that there are places to get that information. My problem is that there are places that deceive those people. ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, to a
All-
lesser extent,
all of-
who essentially
Hear 'em out.
who essentially claim, yes, all of them, who claim that they're giving you straight news, but they don't give you the full news.
Yeah.
When they're giving you their own bias. And that's the word bias. The bias comes into play not because they come out and say to you, "Hi, I'm Sean Hannity and I hate Barack
exclude from the
Obama,"
news broadcast.
but instead it's, I'm Tom Brokaw and I'm telling you the news. Meanwhile, Tom Brokaw is so screwing you, you don't even know it. He is the wolf in sheep's clothing. Hannity is not a sheep in wolf's clothing.
Tells you who it is.
Hannity is
You
the
know-
wolf.
yeah, you know what he's
Hannity
getting.
is the wolf, and so is Rachel Maddow, and I don't have any problem with that. If I know you're liberal and you're coming out and telling me you're liberal, I might even watch you. But if you're Tom Brokaw or Jennings, who's now deceased, God rest his soul, and other individuals Dan Rather, oh my God, the worst, who absolutely plays that he's the even keel, they're liars because they're not even keeled. They're giving you the left. Meanwhile, they're talking out of both sides of their mouths, and that's
Because
my
it's about
issue.
ratings. It's all about ratings nowadays.
And that's fine. Capitalism is fantastic in that regard. But then let us all know that you're being that, right?
They're
Don't
not
lie to
gonna.
me.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
They're not gonna though.
If Coca-Cola was still selling cocaine inside their Coke, I might still buy it. But just
I would
tell
totally
me
buy
that
it. There's no might about that.
just tell me that you got it in there.
That's the thing is they're not. Well, I mean, they don't want to alienate their base. So of course, they're not going to be like, "Hey, this is our opinion. This isn't actual news. This is opinion." It says Fox News, but it's all opinion. Just
You
like
know,
it
it's funny
says-
because a lot of people attack Fox News because of their opinion, but the reality is that everybody they talk about on Fox is their opinion. Their primetime network, or their primetime shows, rather, 8, 9, and 10 o'clock are all.
Yeah, this
all.
this is the thing that people who don't know how they broadcast.
yeah, people don't know how the media works.
Right. Fox News, its news division, if you really watch it closely, does play it fairly down the middle. They're pretty close.
And Brett Baer and
Okay.
Bill Hemmer. Yeah.
But it devotes a lot of its airtime to partisan. Like they're Republican leading. And we talked about this earlier, which is if I'm a conservative thinker, what am I going to want to consume?
Yeah, you want to
Conservative
watch
news.
the stuff
Conservative
that
news.
goes along.
So there's
'Cause
a
you don't wanna
market
be
for
angry
each
watching
side,
TV.
so I
right?
watch Tucker.
But do not say to me because I watch Fox News, I'm only interested in the punditry, which is not true. That's what I get upset at because my son walked into my room. This is part of the conservative parents of liberal
this is the
kids.
trigger. This is the trigger.
Okay. He'll walk into my room, see I'm watching Tucker Carlson or watching Hannity, and he'll like, "Oh my God, you're so fucking racist," or whatever it is, you're watching this. And I'm like, whoa.
Do they really come in and say that? Though?
Yes. Actually come in and say that.
It was like just
Yes.
Unprovoked?
This is what, yes.
was
This is what
crazy.
motivated me for the show, dude.
He's like, yo,
This
I'm
is what
minding my
motivated me to
business. I'm
start the
sitting there
blog.
Minding my business, not doing nothing to nobody.
Sitting in my
No,
room,
I'm not
watching
kidding you.
Tucker.
He'll walk into my room and start saying that shit.
Yeah.
Can I?
I'm not kidding you. Now, so I said, listen, you walk in the room just because I'm listening to it, you're immediately saying, I buy into all of it.
Yeah.
Now, it's true. I give these political conservative pundits a B+. Like I said, I agree to 85% of it.
A+.
I'm more of a B+. There's some of it
A+.
like you've gone too far. I don't want you to go that far. I'm not going to really go to the other side. I'm just saying you went a little too far.
I know.
Okay.
I'm teasing you.
Yeah, okay. And so, but he'll walk in like you are watching this, therefore you are this type
Yeah,
of
you're-
person.
yeah.
I'm like, you didn't even ask me anything other than I'm watching this.
And
so that's the
assumptions.
indoctrination of the other side of the media that says if you're watching this, you are a certain type of person, and they've bought into it, and it frustrates me. Surge.
It happens on both sides.
No, because nobody in my house is watching CNN.
The thing is,
Unless they go to airports.
you know what would solve all the problems in the world? Just everybody stop watching the news. How about that? problem solved. You know what I stopped doing? I stopped going on Facebook this week. I stopped watching the news. And
I think
never felt better.
But I do think you're onto something.
That's true.
I'm going to steal something from my wife. My wife has a charity in Africa, and last year she and my oldest son and my second oldest son, third oldest son rather, went to Africa for 3 weeks to be in a mission with her charity. We don't need to get into that. She came back and people said to her, "Oh my gosh, Jill, you look so relaxed." She's like, "I've been gone for 3 weeks and I haven't seen social media. I haven't watched anything. I haven't seen any news, and I'm happy." And you're onto something.
Yeah.
If we could deal with each other like we didn't just watch the news and get inflamed, we'd be happier people. For sure.
And it happens a lot too. That's the
I
thing.
agree.
And the thing is, news when even if you don't watch like the cable news networks, you watch the local thing. All they do is as soon as you're watching it, oh man walks in the store, kills somebody. Oh man, it's like so you're immediately
kid walks across the street and gets run over.
by a
Who
car.
wants
So
to
you're
see
immediately
that?
bombarded with all
I don't
these
wanna see that.
negative
Yeah,
vibes.
I don't
'cause,
wanna hear that
Like
negative.
life is about vibes, and I try to keep the positive around me, and the negative is gonna find its way out.
We had a whole show devoted to that. Remember
Absolutely,
on the chopping it up?
because it's facts.
Facts.
And my main thing is one of the biggest problems with the whole country right now is that the two-party system is what's breaking everything. If we didn't have a two-party system and we just had people that, I like what this guy's saying because he likes what I like, he likes a little bit what they like, but he likes
Without
a lot of
trying
what
to
I
put it in
like.
a category.
It's about what the person is about as opposed to, vote for me because this guy sucks. Now this is how we are where we're at now. I can't stand Biden. I can't stand Trump. I can't stand any of them. But we don't have a choice now. And it's gotten worse the whole time. There's nothing we can do. But if there was some way that the citizens can get together and say, we're done with this, we don't want a two-party system, everything's going to fix because now it becomes about fixing the country as opposed to we need to win. That's the problem.
That's really interesting, and I'm not saying I disagree with you because I don't technically.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of factors.
I had-
choosing sides in everything.
But yes, it's
But-
black or white.
Right.
Everything's black or white.
But I do believe,
Not
and
race.
I think Jason will agree with me, and he's about to chime in because I think he's thinking the same thing. I do believe that the policies, the viewpoints, like on the conservative side, I won't even say Republican, on the conservative side, are empirically better for the American people. And what I mean by empirically, if you look at what works and what doesn't work, I believe my
Laissez-faire,
conservative view
hands off.
is what works best for most Americans. Does it work for every American? Maybe not. And those people feel like that screws me, vote for the other side. Okay? But but I do agree with you on some level. If you start off with I have to choose a side,
You're already screwed.
you're starting to screw yourself because you're pigeonholing yourself to a certain view, and you're not really thinking about like on issue by issue. Where do I stand on issue by issue? And
I think you just figured out your next show.
which is
What does it look like if we don't have a two-party system?
It looks a lot better.
Because, I don't necessarily disagree with you. Circle back 3 years, I personally believed that Trump was going to win. But I felt that if Trump won, there was going to have to be a split in the Republican Party. There was going to have to be a Trump conservative end. There was going to have to be a moderate conservative end. And then I thought there could be an opportunity for the Democrats to break.
Yeah.
Because they have the same problem.
Yeah, their whole thing was
They're
messed up.
central. But here's where my concern came in. It never happened, of course, because the Republicans are pussies and they actually didn't do anything of any sort. They should have broken apart.
Yeah, they
they
fought
really
hard.
should have, but they didn't. And I would have gone with the Trump wing. But I digress. But what I was going to say was like there is the Green New Deal Democrats, and then you got your moderate blue dog Democrats, and then you've got your rhino Republicans who are kind of centrist, and then you've got your way left. Your way right, kind of red conservatives, not racists, just red.
Yeah.
My concern, however, is that if they do, and the reason why they don't split, I really think they don't, is because when the two wings split off, the extremes, those two middles join together. and there's no beating that. So you're going to have the Mitch McConnells and the Nancy Pelosi's in the same party, and then you really got some chaos going on right there.
Yeah, it's just.
But I think your next show is all about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I look at things from a broader perspective. I'm like, if you took all the infighting out of everything and you just focus on, hey, how about let's just all come up with 25 things that we need to work on. Let's all say this is what I want, and let's just pick the two
But
people.
we've already
Okay.
gone too far down the road of
Yeah.
being partisan to unwind that. It's almost next to impossible now.
I mean,
Okay, that's
but
what's
not really.
unfortunate.
You look at it; it just takes like a major chaotic event to restart everything.
But okay, like a pandemic.
Like a pandemic.
Like a pandemic.
Okay. Can I
But it
ask you a
didn't.
question? Okay,
It just
so
divided people more.
So here we go. We've got the Republicans came up with a $1 trillion plan that the Democrats came on with early on, and they passed, and it went out to help the people. And then they came out for round two. The Republicans came back out with, "Hey, let's match it. We got $1 trillion, and let's go for it." And then the Democrats go for 3 something trillion, and they're like, "Well, we'll take 2." What kind of crap is that?
They don't care. Nobody cares about other people.
But they
No, but
should.
think
But they
about
should.
it.
That's important
You would
because the
think so.
Republicans were literally willing
right,
to put the
so-
same money that they put in your pockets 3 or 4 months ago, and the same PPP in your pockets they were willing to do 3 months ago, and the Democrats said no, we want more, and yet the talks broke apart.
Serge, let me. In my legal profession, trying to settle a case. Okay, so if someone comes to me and says, "I will settle for $500,000," say I'm representing the defendant. First of all, I will settle for $500,000. I say, "Oh, that's ridiculous. It's way too much." You know what? I'm going to reduce it to $350,000. Therefore, I've compromised $150,000 of my claim. What are you going to do for me? Well, your $500,000 is ridiculous. It's really only worth a $10,000 claim. So you dropping $150,000 is meaningless. It has nothing. It's outrageous. So when you have a Democratic Party saying, "Listen, well, I'll go down from 3.7 trillion down to 2 trillion," and you thinking
It's a
like
non-starter.
it's a non-starter because the max I want to settle for is 1 trillion. Don't sound like you're being magnanimous and we're being idiots for not compromising. You're starting off in a place where it's so patently ridiculous. Don't make us look bad. And that's what they're doing. They're going on the air and they're portraying the Republicans as being unreasonable and uncompromising.
But if I
but
may-
if you start off with a ridiculous offer, what are we supposed to do?
But even Nancy Pelosi looked idiotic. I saw her
You
clip
agree?
on CNN, and she
I
looked,
haven't paid attention to
Okay,
none of
okay.
that stuff.
she
for
don't
the past
care.
2
You don't
weeks.
care nothing. But Pelosi looked stupid. Even on CNN, she was cross-examined, and she didn't have an answer.
It was so cavalier. She was talking about like, we offered 3 trillion. They were offering 1 trillion. We just asked them to come up a trillion, like a mere trillion.
A mere trillion.
Like a mere trillion, and they wouldn't even do that. We're at 23 trillion in debt. What the hell is the problem?
Hey, question. Who
Yeah.
do we owe the money to?
China.
well,
China.
a chunk of it,
Who do they owe the money to?
our children and our grandchildren.
You see how this works? And this is what I was telling everybody from the beginning. I'm like, why didn't we just say we're not paying rent? You guys figure it out, because this whole thing that I'm going to tell you that you can't go to work, but I'm not going to give you an opportunity to make. They gave us $1,200 for the past 7 months. Well, 6
Well,
months.
it's stupid,
No,
but-
think about it.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to pay my rent. I can't pay my rent. I can't get a job because everything's closed. But yeah, I still got to pay rent.
Yeah.
No.
It's tough.
I say we stop it and let the banks who
That-
should
you
be
know,
loaning us out this money anyway,
not
let
to
them handle
insert
it.
not to insert my professional experience in this, but I mean, I am a foreclosure attorney and I help people in
Yeah.
evictions, and I very much feel what you're experiencing. Did you have an opportunity to get the PPP?
No.
You did not. Did
It
you
was
not?
already gone before I even had a chance to even apply.
Because there's still money in there. There's still money. There's a couple of $1 billion still left over to be given out. And they're talking about, I just saw today that they're talking about, again, a second round of the PPP.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because I got to pay for my employees. Listen, I'm an attorney. Oh, I must drive a Jag or a BMW. Nope.
Right.
No, I drive a VW, and it's 10 years old. But the bigger point is that my phone hasn't rung since March 17th.
Yeah.
I do foreclosure work. Nobody's getting foreclosed on.
Right.
Yeah.
Foreclosure attorneys are hungry and broke. And we understand what you're saying. We've been able to survive through a series of loans and being able to maintain our business. But my big point is that we're all going through this. This is not a Republican versus liberal bullshit. This is crap. We're all business people.
Exactly.
You're a businessman. I'm a businessman. I want to survive. Main Street. You're Main Street. Are you Wall Street?
Absolutely not.
Screw Wall Street. Wall Street broke a record today. Do I give a shit? No, I'm not on Wall Street. I'm Main Street. I depend upon my local clients to give me fee payments. When they can't afford it, I have two choices. I can either tell them I'm not going to be your lawyer or I'm going to float you. Now, I float my clients, and they know it because I'm a good guy. That's because I'm a conservative. But I'm going to tell you, it's hard to keep floating people when there is no end in sight. So when Pelosi pulls this shit, she's not making friends. She's not making friends on Main Street.
Well, I also look at it like this. I feel like there's an agenda. There's been an agenda the whole time. And like you were saying, they want us to be what? Broke? They want all that stuff. So no matter what
Control.
side you're on, whoever they put in, whether it's George Bush, whether it's Barack Obama, whether it's Clinton, they all got the same agenda. They're still on the same team. You got the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator.
Can I?
They're
I
still
think you,
moving
I
the
think you
ball
touched
down.
on something.
They're moving the ball down
I
the
really
field.
appreciate it. I'm taking over Rich's show. I'm going to make one more comment. I'm going to shut
you're
up.
No, we're
co-host,
good.
man.
But I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. When you stay with the moderate, the rhinos, and the blue dog Democrats, they're all the pussies.
Yeah.
They're all the pussies. You need Trump and you need Sanders.
Yeah, they
Those are
tried
the
so
guys
hard. I was
who
so mad
push
about
the boundary.
Sanders.
I'm not a fan of Sanders, so I'm not saying I want him to be
No, they
president.
did
'cause
it
I'm
in-
not saying that.
well,
what I'm saying is
What is it?
he
Break
pushes
up the swamp.
he pushes. He pushes the boundaries for what is realistic. And Sanders would be a better president than Hillary.
Absolutely.
Sanders would be a better president than Biden.
They stole.
I would never
they stole
vote
it
for
from
him,
them.
and I would probably move to Utah in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Or Canada, or New Zealand, or somewhere. My point is, though, that if you're going to jump on a bull, ride it.
Yeah.
Ride it.
Well, that's one thing about Sanders is it got on my nerves. He clearly won the nomination, and they still gave it to Hillary because she basically put her money up to get them out, the whole party out of
He would have won it
bankruptcy.
against Biden, but
Think
they
about
fucking
that.
coalesced around
Like she
Biden. And
literally
he's
bought the party. She bought the party and got the nomination, and that was okay. They were like, "No, that's cool." I'm sitting here like, "No, what are you talking about? This guy was way better, had way better policies. Like, what are we doing?" But like I said, this is a big game, man, and we're headed down to Brokeland, down
So
to police state.
the question
and there's
that
nothing
I have,
we can do
though,
about it. There's nothing we can do about it.
This is sort of unrelated to my show, but also related to my show. Okay. Do you see the recent developments in these various cities that are having all this violence?
Yeah, that's all staged
Staged by whom?
by a bunch of people. There's all kinds
No,
of people.
this is where I think we're going to have our debate.
Well, Soros obviously
Okay.
pays for a lot of it. Look,
Okay.
they're spending money to destabilize the country because
Okay.
they want the police state. Because guess what? They're on the same team as these guys. These guys are bringing
Do
it
you
by
see the-
war.
But do you
These
see
guys
this
are bringing
like
it
I
by
do. It's like this is the destruction of the way of
yeah.
life.
This is
Like we're special as America, and we can disagree as to what America
Yeah.
represents. But what makes America special is that we're not like a free for all. It's like we're I don't know. It upsets me every day when I wake up and I hear stories of not even hear stories. I'm watching the news
yeah.
of 75 days in a row of Portland going down in hell.
Yep.
Seattle, where the police chief has to resign today because the goddamn the city council voted to defund almost completely the police department. It was 7-1 vote, and the one vote that dissented was saying you didn't completely didn't 100% defund the police. That was the only dissenting vote. The other 7 votes were like, we want to like take away 60% of the funding. And the person had said, no, don't do that. You need 100%.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Okay, no. When I first heard defund of the police, I laughed. I laughed like, okay,
Not me.
we need law enforcement. We all know there's
We
an
do,
element.
but we also don't need them to the capacity.
Can
that
we
have
reform
them now.
it? That's fine.
Absolutely.
Do we need to defund it? No. Can we do things properly? Yes. Do we need to go on a radical? No, this is where you said Soros.
Well, I'm looking at
Okay.
defunding as far as they don't need military grade equipment. They don't need tanks. They don't
That's
need
not defunding. That's
They don't have
How do you think they
tanks.
get that? Well, no, they have armored.
They have some
trucks.
armored
Like,
trucks, but they don't have tanks.
Some cities have actual battering tanks. Like LA has those things with the big battering ram on it that they knock.
They
out.
have 1 or 2, and they need them.
Yeah, but like I said,
What has LA
well,
done
for
in the
for
last
mental health
30
checks,
years?
we don't need police showing up at mental health checks.
No,
You
no,
could
okay.
send
Can I-
they have specialists for that. Like,
Okay. Can I just disagree with you for
Yeah,
a second?
absolutely.
I don't have any problem with sending a medical professional, psychologist, psychiatrist, to a mental wellness check. Okay,
Right.
but if you've done the law as long as we have,
I have.
shit goes crazy
Yeah.
when that happens. So they should have at least an officer there for when things go nuts, and a lot of times they do.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with what you were saying, but just so you understand how things. Right before Christmas one year, this is before I stopped doing family law, I was doing family law, and I got a call on the 23rd of December by a client. It was like, ex-husband is violating the thing, the agreement, and he's not doing this, and he's not doing that, and he's preventing me from seeing the child, and I've got the child for Christmas, and blah blah blah. I filed an emergency order with the court, and on the 23rd of December, I got an order to physically remove the child from that home. On Christmas Eve, the next morning, I am there. Actually, because of the way the timing went, it was actually by the time that the warrant got executed. It was evening on the 24th. I'm supposed to be home with my kids.
yeah,
I am in the middle of a dirt road, an orange grove, in the middle of Central Florida, with a deputy taking custody of one child from a family to be given back to their rightful parent. The reason why we had to have a cop there was because God knows what would have happened. Now, it was ended up being peaceful, and I ended up having, midnight mass with my family. But it was scary. Did we win? What
No, it's
happened?
off.
No, we didn't win.
It's off.
So my point is that if you'd have had nobody there, and it would have gone upside down, or if I didn't have a cop there, that could seriously. Do you think that guy would have brought out that kid if I didn't have an armed officer with
Absolutely.
me? No, he wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But
He would
there's
have
a
laughed.
whole
He would have laughed
segment
at my
of
client.
of our political community that thinks. we
yeah,
don't
but
need
that's
that at
all
all.
one scenario. Thanks. See, now I'm talking about the guy
No, it's
who
not.
is.
No, that's the point he's making.
Well, yeah.
is
It's
that
the
this
one
happens
off.
every
It's the
day
one.
in
It's the
all these
one.
communities.
It's the one time. I'm not saying we should have officers bringing in nut houses. All I'm saying is we need officers there for when it goes upside down, and it does go upside down.
Absolutely. See, it's like stuff like that I can understand, but patrolling neighborhoods you don't need to be patrolling. Stuff like that. It's like, but they're
Neighborhoods
also.
you shouldn't be patrolling. What-
Well,
like when?
I always felt police should be reactive, not like you shouldn't be in my neighborhood just driving up and down the block looking for somebody to be like, hey,
Oh my God! When I see a cop driving
Deterrence
down my
is the
street, I am
greatest
so
factor.
happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, we never get cops driving down my
That's
street.
because-
Thank you for coming.
Because we probably have different upbringings.
Bullshit. I've had my trailer hitch stolen off the back of my truck. I've had stuff stolen out of my yard. No.
Yeah, because
There's-
but they'll be there to help you. See, they're there to help you, but in other
But you
aspects, they're
start
there
off
to
with the
harass other
prospect
people.
that a typical police officer
Yeah.
already has a prejudice against the Hispanic or
No, I'm
colored
not saying that
community,
they.
if
I'm
you
not
will.
saying that at all. What I'm simply saying is that they are told to be in these particular neighborhoods.
because that's where the crime is.
That's where you find crime. You can find crime in any neighborhood. I can go.
But you
You,
can
know
find-
where
Not in
people,
my neighborhood.
You can
You know-
find neighborhoods that have more crime than other
I
neighborhoods.
guarantee you, in your neighborhood, more people do drugs than they do in because that's where they go to buy the drugs is the lower income neighborhoods. They don't follow you guys back to
Yeah,
your-
but we're
to the
just doing
suburbs.
oxycodone in our bedrooms.
Doesn't matter. It's still
No.
But what I'm saying, do you see
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
laugh at that.
No,
No,
what I'm
I
saying-
understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, if we had, let's say for instance, we take half the force that we have them in the hoods, and we have them just
Okay.
driving in the suburbs, and they just run your place, and they want to check you and pull you over for any reason. You might have weed in your car. Now you get pulled over. Now you going to jail.
Hey,
That's the same thing that happens
but
every day in these neighborhoods. The only reason it don't happen in your neighborhood is because they don't tell them to go to your neighborhood.
That's fine. So I'm not selling weed, but if you are selling weed in your neighborhood, do you have a Glock in your pocket?
Weed, no, not for weed. No, absolutely not.
Then
Nobody's got guns
so
for
someone's
selling
getting
weed.
arrested for trafficking weed. Big deal.
But it's targeted.
Big deal.
It's targeting. You know what I'm saying?
It's targeting.
It's that's the
But
whole.
they're not
issue.
selling it in my neighborhood.
Well-
Thank God.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Come on now! Don't tell me that people ain't selling drugs in the suburbs. I get a lot of the drugs from
I
the
don't
suburbs.
I don't live in the suburbs.
Well, I'm just saying, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying in general because you don't see police patrols in the suburbs. You don't see police going up and down the block just looking to mess with somebody. They're not seeing a guy riding a bike
But,
saying,
but
"Hey,
they are
mess with
going.
somebody.
But they are going for
If-
concentration, right? A concentration of issues.
Do you agree or disagree that
With what?
there's more crime in Chicago than there ought to be?
Well,
Let's even start
absolutely,
there.
because it's a major, huge city. Of
Okay.
course, there's going to be crime there. Of course, there's going to be crime there. There's crime in New York. There's crime in L.A. That's a huge
No,
city.
that's a cop out. When you have
there's
44,
not crime in LA
When
and
you
New
have
York.
120 shootings over a weekend, is that
Yeah.
typical of every city?
But that's one of the biggest gang cities in the United
Gangs.
States.
That's
Gangs.
right.
Okay.
Gangs are
so
drugs.
If the police say, you know what, that's where all the criminal activity
do they
is,
go there?
Let's patrol it.
They never go there, though. How do you think so many shootings happen? They never are in those neighborhoods.
Because they're underfunded.
No, when they were funded, they were never in those neighborhoods. Come on, how long has Chicago been killing each other every summer?
Run by Democrats.
For at least 10 to 15
Run
years.
by Democrats.
Yeah, name one of these cities.
Which one?
Name any city
Name
that
any
is
city
having
run by
right now
Republicans.
the frequent every night protests that are
Besides what,
that
Portland? Well, I
that
think
is
Portland's slowed
run
down.
that has
Portland's
been run
Democrat.
by
Have you ever been to Portland?
Republicans.
No, I've never been to Portland.
They got more
Name a
granola in
city
the
that
streets
has all
than they
these
got
problems
drugs.
run by Republicans.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm pretty sure there's
Omaha.
other crime in
Omaha.
other cities too.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure if
all,
we.
all those goddamn
Like
Fort
Republicans.
Worth.
I look at all the Republicans.
You-
I'm sure there's crime in Republican
No,
states.
we're not
No,
saying
no,
there's
no,
an
you're not-
elimination of
you're not-
crime.
no.
Where are all the protests and the burning of buildings and the violence every night? Repeat it, like Portland, Seattle, right? Name another city that has been run by Republicans that has
I
this
don't
problem.
know who runs what cities, man. I don't pay attention to none of that.
I'm going to give you a hint. There are no cities run by Republicans.
That there's crime in. Or
That
just
there
like the
are
riots?
any
Or are you
cities
talking about the
run by
riots?
Republicans. Atlanta, Tampa, Miami, Orlando, Baltimore,
Who runs
D.C.
Tampa?
are Democrat. They're all Democrats. By the way, I'm not trying to draw lines. I'm really not. I'm really trying to say that when the ideas that Republicans give are instantly dismissed, I think we should. I really wish instead of being automatically dismissed, they would be given thoughtful consideration, because literally there is not a single city that is in the news right now that is run by a Republican. Not one. Not Detroit, not Denver, not Portland, not Seattle, not D.C., not Chicago, not New York City, not Boston, probably not even
Baltimore.
Buffalo or Baltimore or any of those other places. This is not a red versus blue. This is an ideas thing. And this is kind of, when we were talking earlier, we were talking about maybe we should break apart and we should have 4 parties, and maybe we should stop talking red versus blue. I imagine Miss Lightfoot in Chicago isn't as blue as you think. She's probably more like navy blue. And that's a concern.
Yeah. I
It
have
doesn't
no
mean
idea
that-
who's with what party, so I don't follow none of that stuff. So I
But
can't.
we do.
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
Those of
answer
us
that
with
now.
conservative kids and liberal kids, I'm just joking. We do. That's all. I owe it all to Tucker.
Shout out to Tucker.
Yeah, shout out to Tucker.
All right, so here we are.
Hashtag Tucker.
We are now halfway through overtime number 4.
Yeah, this
believe
is
we're so
wild.
With the Lightning.
They've played.
This
My-
could
my
be one
son
of the
is
longest
having a
games in
fit
NHL
right now.
playoff history.
I should call
and all right, so let's wrap up the show.
Oh, can we call? Maybe we should call Reagan at home and see what's going
Yeah,
on.
go ahead and do that.
Can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not? Can we do
We're
it?
gonna call one of the kids. This
Call-
is what the
call
show's
him.
about.
Call him. Call him on the studio line.
No, is this look?
There should be a gray little cord over there you could use to plug in.
Into my phone.
this cord?
Oh,
What do I do?
Right this.
Just plug it into plug it into the phone.
I got it.
No, we
Okay.
don't have a phone line yet.
You got a phone line. We're going to
use
create
that.
one.
It's not
right
gonna
here.
work.
Yeah,
Yes,
it'll
it will.
work.
We're going to have an
Okay.
audio right here. We're not going to watch PragerU, though. I promise you.
Oh, damn it!
Here we go. Reagan's going to listen.
Look at
Ra-
this.
I know. Hold on.
Oh my
okay.
god!
Okay, hold on.
Hit the post.
Wait, oh, man. It's not on.
Yeah.
No, I can hear it. We can hear it.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is lovely. I love this. Answer.
Shh, shh, shh.
Hello?
Hey, Reagan?
No, this is Rhett.
Hi, Rhett. It's Jason. How are you?
I'm good. Watching this
I would like-
horrendously long hockey game.
We're in the middle of watching it. Is
Yes,
Reagan
we're
there?
watching it
I'd
here.
I'd like a play-by-play with Reagan, please.
This is horrendously long. I really just want it to end.
I just really just wanted to win. That's all.
I'd love for us to win, but I want it to end.
Hey,
Favorably.
Hey, Rhett, quick question before we put Reagan on the line. Were you named after Rhett Butler?
Yeah.
I know you were. Put Reagan on the line.
Reagan. Yeah?
Hey,
Hey,
Reagan, you're on the air.
Hey, Reagan, it's Dad. What's going on?
Nothing much.
We're watching the game like you're watching the game. What's going on?
Fourth overtime.
No kidding. What's going on? Why is
Why aren't we
Hedman
winning?
unable to put it in?
Because the other team is amazing.
No.
You do know that they're the seventh seed,
They
right?
swept us last year, so...
Yes,
you know.
we know that.
I think we just
Don't
have
remind us.
PTSD.
So what's going to happen?
Fifth overtime, most likely.
Oh, come on. You got to have a little heart. Hedman's going to put it in the next 30 seconds, right?
Let's go.
Hopefully, I wouldn't mind.
All right, we're going to go with the play-by-play.
This is not on a good side.
Okay. We're going to close this up here. I just wanted to say, hey, Reagan, quick question. I know you can't vote because you're only
Yeah.
13, but if you were 18 and you could vote, who would you vote for?
Trump.
You got it, brother. Love you. I'll call you after we win, okay?
God bless
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Poor kid.
I love my new co-host. Hey, listen, we got to wrap up the show. Most importantly, not because it's the natural end of the show. It's because we're in fucking 4
This is
overtimes.
ridiculous, and it's-
ridiculous. We got to watch the end of the
Okay,
game.
okay. I think it's coming.
All right.
I think the end's coming. It's looking real good right now.
Come on. Put it in, Hedman.
All right,
Put it
all
up
right.
front.
Everybody in the audience,
Ah.
tune in next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Conservative parents of liberal kids.
Oh,
Tune in. We'll have a good show, man.
Have a great
Surge,
week.
man.
let's go.
Love your input, man.
Yeah, bro, it's good
We're
times.
out. No, play the
I
song.
already got it.
Oh, you
Thanks,
got the
here.
song.
Thanks, Serge.
Play the song on the way out.
Strap a bomb on the liberals today. Let's strap a bomb and blow them all away. We don't need those crazy coops. We put